Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be my February Boxycharm unboxing. If you're new to my channel, I'm Yori and I do upload videos every single week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, even though I had a little bit of a lapse this week because I got a special assignment at work where I had to take on an additional class for which I didn't start with them at the beginning of the semester. There was just an emergency with a colleague and I had to take over, so my schedule got a little bit thrown off this week due to my regular job, but I'm happy to help out my colleague and also make a little extra money too so I can buy more makeup. So I hope you will subscribe, join my makeup family, ring my bell, all that good stuff, and let's go ahead and get started with my Boxycharm unboxing and try on. Every single month there is a theme with the Boxycharm, and this month's theme is Galaxy Glow, and as you might think, it has a lot to do with highlighters and things like that. On the back side of the card, you do get a little bit of information about all of the products and the retail prices. The first product that was in my box is by Pur Cosmetics, and this is the Faux Lips Plumping Lip Exfoliator. This product does retail for $17, and according to the card, it provides an instant boost of shea butter, raw sugar, and exfoliating beads. It is a 4-in-1 lip scrub pencil, which exfoliates, plumps, hydrates, and soothes. So I did apply this product before starting my makeup application, and I did notice that it is really hydrating, but it's also a little bit gritty. So it's not necessarily the kind of product that you might apply before you do your makeup and then let it sit until you're done. I think this is more something that you would use in the morning, kind of like you would use a lip scrub, because as you do apply it, there is a little bit of sugar that releases and it is a little bit abrasive. So it's not necessarily something that you would leave on. I was a little bit worried when I saw that this is a lip plumping product because I don't like those little lip tingler things. I think they kind of hurt. They feel weird, so I don't like them. So I was a little bit worried that this might be like that, but luckily it isn't. And for the most part, it's just really hydrating and a little bit of exfoliating. It's not as much as a lip scrub would be, like from Lush Cosmetics, but I did like it, and I think that it's something that I would add to my morning routine just after I finish my skincare, do a little bit of exfoliation, and then go on with my regular lip product after this one. So I think it's nice. I can't say I would pay $17 for this right off the bat, but maybe about $10. And I do like it so far, especially since it doesn't tingle. So this is a nice one. The next product that was in my box is from Crown Pro, and it is a trio brush set. My brushes are dirty since I did use them in the demo so that I can provide my opinion. From the description on the card, this is a 3-piece pro brush trio to contour your face to perfection. So based on the description, I did use this more for complexion, even though I know that a lot of the people that I've seen use this product have used this smaller brush for eyeshadow, but I found that the bristles were just so smooth, being synthetic bristles, that I didn't think that they would pick up eyeshadow very well. So I went ahead and I used the brushes more for my complexion. I used the smaller one for blending out concealer, and I thought it was okay, nothing too spectacular. I definitely have brushes that I like better. The retail price of the set is supposed to be $29.99. One thing I did like the brush for was for blending out my primer. I just use concealer to prime my eyes, and it works well for blending that out because the bristles are so smooth. It doesn't really absorb the product. You can just move it around and blend it out really well. I'll try it in the future for eyeshadow, but I'm not thinking that this is going to be a preferred brush for that particular thing. I do like how the brushes are weighted. They feel like a nice weight to them, and there are actually like little divots on the handles for you to place your fingers in an ergonomic kind of way. So I thought it was okay for that. The smaller brush is described as one for which you can sculpt your cheekbones, so I used it to blend out cream contour, and I found that I actually had to press a lot harder than I normally would if I use one of my other brushes. I was blending out my Fenty Beauty Match Stick contour stick, and I found that I had to really press pretty hard to get it to blend out. And then because I was applying that on top of my foundation, not on top of powder, but on top of foundation, I was rubbing it in so hard that it kind of lifted my foundation up a little bit. Later I went in with a powder product and it sort of disguised that on my cheekbones a little bit, so I didn't really like this for blending out cream contour. I just found it to be a little bit too soft and a little too fluffy for that. I think that I may use it for maybe cream highlighting, so just sort of stippling on, or for cream blush, for which a lighter application would be preferred. I did use the last product to set the cream contour, so I used it as well to set my under eyes. So when I blended out my concealer, I applied a little bit of my Wet n Wild contour palette and I set underneath my eyes as well as my eyeshadow base. And then later I used it to set my contour. So I just went into a little bit of my contour and I noticed that it does pick up a lot of powder, which surprised me because the bristles are super smooth. But then as soon as I tapped, all the powder fell off, so it wasn't too much that was left on the brush. So if you like a light application of contour, then you might like this brush. It's very soft, it's comfortable to use, and it has those ergonomic divots as well. So overall, I think the brush set is okay. You can definitely make do, although it wouldn't necessarily be my favorite. I certainly wouldn't pay $30 for these brushes. I would expect to pay more in the neighborhood of $10, just like the lip exfoliator. The next product that was in my box was from Cover FX, and this is the Shimmer Veil in the shade Amethyst. I was really excited to get this in my box. I believe this is the second time we received something from Cover FX. This one does retail for $28. According to the card, this is a multi-use shimmering cream color that is crease-proof enough for the boldest of eye looks, which I did today, and formulated with a weightless finish for a shimmering effect anywhere on the face, suitable for all skin types. As I mentioned, we do receive the shade Amethyst, and even though I am wearing it on my eyes, I will go ahead and give you a swatch. So there it is swatched on the back of my hand, and you will definitely see me apply it to my eyes as well. This Cover FX Shimmering Veil reminds me most of the Stila Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadows. Not the glitter and glows that have the glitter, the chunky glitter, but the shimmer and glow that are more of a cream metallic shadow. It reminds me a lot of that. I really like the shade that they decided to send us. It's like an iridescent pink purple, and I think it's very pretty, especially for spring coming up. It's really nice. I was actually really impressed. I applied the product directly from the wand, which is kind of a doe foot applicator, similar to the Stila ones. I did go ahead and apply it directly to my eyelid, and then I went in with a synthetic brush to sort of draw out a half cut crease with the product. And so far I'm really impressed in that it didn't really give me a lot of fallout or anything like that. Once it's set fairly well, and you can actually layer it as well as apply it a little more sheer for just sort of that wash of color in a more editorial way. But today I used it pretty heavily packed, and I really like the effect that it did, and I'm really impressed. I'm super happy that we got this in the box because it's a fairly new product. It does retail for $28, and it being Cover FX, a Sephora brand, and quite pricey, but I would pay the $28 because it's a trusted brand, and I do enjoy a lot of the products from their line. So I'm really happy that I got this in my box. The next product that was in my box was by Vintage Cosmetics, and this is the Smoky Eye Pencil, which retails for $21. This is the second time that we get a Vintage Cosmetics by Jessica Liebeskind product in our boxes. I know that a few months ago they sent us some highlighter palettes from this brand, and to be honest, I wasn't too excited about this. It's just a black eyeliner, and it's one that you sharpen as well. It wasn't anything that's too exciting, but when I went to apply this, I applied it first to my waterline, and you can see that the color on my waterline is actually quite intense, and so it definitely does have a lot of color payoff even on the waterline. And then I was a little bit worried about using it as liner on my upper lash line because I already had this shimmery shadow there, and I was afraid that I would just start flaking it off. But it's actually soft and blendable enough that if you tap as you work your way across your eyelashes, you can actually get very nice pigmentation just across your eyelids, and I used it to blend in my false lashes as well. I'm actually quite impressed. I'm pleasantly surprised by this pencil. It retails for $21, which I would not pay $21 for this, but I would pay maybe $10 as I would for a drugstore item. It's kind of short, so it's not too long. I don't think you're getting a lot of product. You are getting 1.2 grams of product. It is made in China as well. Again, I was pleasantly surprised at the pigmentation. Here you can see a swatch. I'm not pressing very hard at all, and I'm able to get good color payoff. And it is something that you can blend as well. So I really like how soft it was. I was honestly very pleasantly surprised with this, and I'm glad to have it in my box as I will always need a black eyeliner for tight lining and waterline and all those things. So very happy to have this in my Boxycharm. The next product that was in my box is by Naked Cosmetics, and this is a holographic highlighter collection. It does have a sleeve you can slide off, and the palette looks exactly the same as the sleeve. It does have the ingredients on the back and is described as a cruelty-free product that should be expected to last you 12 months. Here is the inside of the palette, and the holographic packaging makes it a little bit difficult for you to see the shades, but they are multicolored shades. There are some pink ones, some purples, some more greenish one, and this does retail for $39.99. You can probably see the colors better if I hold it this way. It's a very small palette. There's no mirror attached. It does have a magnetic closure, and you have your holographic highlighters here. The shades don't have names, but you have a pink, a purple, a pink-purple duochrome, more of a green one, a blue, and more of a gold. When I saw this immediately reminded me a lot of the Anastasia Beverly Hills glow kits. Specifically, I was thinking it was gonna be more like Moonchild, but I think it's a lot more like Aurora, which is one of the newer ones to their line. So here are the two palettes side by side. You can see that the Anastasia one is a lot bigger in terms of how much product you get. In this palette, you are getting 4.2 grams of product in each specific pan. This one doesn't say how much product you're getting, but if you see side by side, you can see that it is significantly smaller than the Aurora palette. I am wearing this palette on my face today. I did apply this one as my highlighter. I applied this one as my brow bone highlighter, and I used this one on my Cupid's bow just to try out a lot of the different formulas. You can see that the intensity is actually really intense, and these powders do not have any glitter whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and swatch them for you. They don't feel super smooth. They actually feel a little bit chunky. Here they are on my fingers. And there are 3 of the swatches. Those are your top 3 shades. Here are the bottom 3. So there are all your swatches, and as you can see, you have very iridescent, holographic, brightly colored highlights, and they're very pigmented. They're very blendable when you apply them. They do not emphasize any texture. They don't disturb any products that you have underneath. They're actually really nice quality. It does have kind of like a chemical packaging smell. I think that after a while that's going to be something that's going to dissipate. Now, seeing as these two products are exactly the same price, they both retail for about $40. If you were going to spend $40 on a highlighting palette, I would definitely recommend the Anastasia Beverly Hills because it is a very established brand, very highly respected, and you also get a lot more product. But if you were wondering about missing out on the Aurora Glow Kit and you receive this one in your Boxycharm, I think you have a great dupe, and it's a really high quality product. I really think that it applies very similarly to the Anastasia one, and so I really don't have any complaints other than to say that I think that as a more indie brand that they are a little bit overpriced right now, but I do understand that their cost for manufacture could be a little bit higher if they don't have, you know, the right connections or whatever the case may be. So I would say that I would place this more appropriately priced in the $20 range, but it is very high quality, and if you have this, you have an excellent dupe for the Aurora palette. I've added up my total, and my total box value came to $135.98. That's the retail price. Now, as far as how much I would pay, I did say that I would pay $20 for the highlighting palette, and I would pay the full $28 for the cover effects. I would pay $10 for the eyeliner and $10 for the lip exfoliator, as well as $10 for the brushes. So the total amount that I would pay for this box comes to $78, and so at $21, I think I'm definitely winning with this month's Boxycharm. Let me know what you got in your box. I know that there were a couple of variations, and I actually had wanted the Ofra magnetic palette with the blush rather than the highlighting palette because I do own Aurora and they just look so similar even in pictures. So let me know if you got that one and how you like it, because that was one of the things that I was hoping for. Also, I was hoping for a different lip product than this one, which came in sort of like a tube, like a cardboard tube, and everybody was saying that it smelled so good and everything, and this one doesn't smell bad. I'm happy with it. I think it's good, but I had sort of wanted that one, so if you got that one, let me know how you like it. So that's everything for this video. Thank you so much for joining me for my Boxycharm unboxing and try on. If you do enjoy this kind of video, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, definitely introduce yourself in the comment section down below. I do like to get to know all of my YouTube friends, and yeah, I hope you're having a great day. I will see you again very soon on my next video. Bye bye.